Hello, and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. We are back looking at Palantir, and I do love this stock. Now, if we look at the chart right in front of us, one of the most fascinating things is that it's essentially been a summer of consolidation, a summer of George, as some would say, the bizarro world, the backwards. All the decisions that we've wanted to make with Palantir have been wrong this summer. We thought the breakout was real at 20. It was not. We thought the fall down from 20 was real. It was not. Where we find ourselves here is on the back of 2 days where we had over 5% returns on Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday. On Thursday today, we find ourselves with down 8.27%. We are at 1498, which doesn't seem like a big deal in the grand scheme of things because obviously we're still up 103% over the rolling 6 months, but it doesn't feel great. We are currently below the 5-day moving average. The 5-day moving average is below the 23-day moving average, and the price is also below the 23-day moving average. We got 100 million shares traded today. Do you realize how terrible that is when you consider the price dropped 8.2% just out of nowhere, essentially? And nowhere, I'm not sure. Maybe there was an actual catalyst. Maybe there wasn't. But the interesting thing is that volatility completely fell over. In this column here, AI, what we're looking at essentially is we have volatility that's been rising until today. Today was the first day in a long time, since the 18th of August to be exact, that we saw volatility fall. And the price fell at the exact same time aggressively. You know what that lends me to believe? That lends me to believe that the trend may short time be down here because the trend, when it's falling and the price is moving significantly with it, that's because that's the actual trend of the market. We can see that we do have a go long signal on the short term. We don't have anything on the intermediate or longer term. We are bullish on the shorter term indicator, and now on the intermediate, nothing on the longer term yet. We can see that on the rolling sentiment, we have flipped to rising bullish. I do have a lot of respect for that because where we came from on the 23rd and 24th was at 41%. When it's blue with white lettering, that means we're below 42% because this indicator generally wants to be in an equilibrium. If you get below 42%, maybe you get to the high 30s, maybe you get to the low 40s, but generally it's going to come back to 50. Same as if you get above 60. You see we have the red here, the red lettering with the white background is the exact same thing, just to the extreme to the high. We get to the 64, we know we're coming back to the 50. It just depends how long we're going to be there. We're only there for about a day on the 11th of August, but we found our way back. Now we look at the trading signals. We do see that we have 2 on the bull key 3 as of tomorrow. We're going to have 2 rising values, which I respect quite a bit. And to be honest, I am expecting a little bit of a bull run. Now, if you want me to explain it, I will. Thank you for asking. If we're looking here at the VIX, here's the thing that's really interesting to me. This ultra fast indicator here flipped VIX warning on the 28th of July. It has now been consecutive risk on for 2 full days and is going into tomorrow. We'll be interested to see what the first day of September is like. But for right now, that indicator flipping back is very bullish to me because it lets me believe that the VIX is going to get crushed and equities are going to rally, Palantir included. And one of the things I'm going to point out very quickly, just because I think it's important, the correlation to the VIX. So this is the correlation to the VIX of Palantir, which is currently rising. So that, boys and girls, is probably one of the better indications of why we're having problems. This has a rising correlation to the VIX, and the VIX got slammed today. The VIX actually fell quite a bit. So Palantir, for now at least, is not one of those things I want to buy, but it is something I'm paying attention to as we get into potentially just hot girl fall. You know what I mean? We're about to see the rockets come out. We're about to see the boom boom. We're going all the way to the moon, boys. Let's get out there. Get your astronaut gears because we're going to space. Now we look at the daily sentiment indicator. It is interesting because we are back up above that 15-day moving average. Maybe it's the fake out like we had back here in July. Obviously, this is around the same time that the VIX started to flash that VIX warning that we saw and paid attention to earlier. Look at the volume. The big concern here is that we did see 100 million shares traded today, while seeing the price drop quite a bit. Obviously, it's not any near as high as the previous big moves in volume, so that's nice, but it does make us feel very good that this is a big day of volume relative to the recent moves. We look at the daily volatility. We can see it's rolling over. I pointed that out earlier. It's at 5.3. Yesterday was at 5.4. We can see that the correlation is still, it looks like it's actually starting to rise, which is quite a concern. If the price correlation to volatility is rising, while the volatility is rolling over, that's quite negative. That means that the price is going to fall and fall very dramatically. And when I mean dramatically, I don't mean like aggressively. I mean like the way Tesla fell over the month of August, which is essentially just a slow drop into nothingness. Now we look at the trade range. The top of the range used to be kind of bullish because it was up at 2120. It's come down quite a bit to 1956. And the bottom, definitely while coming up from 1130, has only come up to 1202. So that lets me to believe that the bottom is coming down, the top is coming up, but not as fast, which means that there's more of a magnitude to the downside here. We really do not want to break that 1450 level. It looks like that has been a very important level. It's been defended quite a bit, that $14 level. We're very curious to see what happens here in Palantir. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter. We send you 25 stocks to your inbox every single Sunday. Stocks between between $5 and $20, stocks breaking up to 1-year highs, all-time highs, and everything in between. And something that I want to bring out now, because this is important for the folks who have been with us since we broke 100 subscribers. Thank you for being here. We are now creating a new trading app that is going to exist for potential purchasers of a new product that we're going to have called the Bulls and Bears Daily. This is going to be the Bulls and Bears Daily AI. It's going to be a Chrome extension that you can use. It's going to give you the ability to see stocks that are flipping from bearish to bullish longer term inside of the indexes, inside the SPY, inside the Q, inside IWM, and inside the sectors. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm very curious what you think about this. Subscribe to follow along. We'll be letting this known to our subscribers as we continue to develop it for you. Be coming soon. Talk to you soon.